anything interesting you want to talk about today? Which do you like more, cats or dogs? Aw, that's cheating. Wait, no, Paimon's not a pet. Traveler, anything interesting? Paimon's heard that couplets are a traditional art form in Liyue. If you can write a line that works as a second half to one that someone else has written, you'll be well paid. But linking the couplet is hard, so it's not easy money. Not only does the rhythm need to match, but the meaning has to as well. Wind rises, winds never churn. Huh, not bad. Let's not waste time here. We've got some money to make. Traveler, anything interesting? Strange. Diluc and Kaya are really alike, so why don't they get along? Well, Kaya's the kind of guy who acts shady in the light of day, while Diluc is a shining beacon of justice in the dark of night. Don't you think that's kind of the same thing? Traveler, anything interesting? People in Sumeru seem to take divination and fortune-telling pretty seriously. For starters, there's astrology, although only the scholars get to practice that. But ordinary citizens have their ways too. They can do divinations with just a cup of coffee. Paimon heard that they can tell your fate just by looking at the bottom of a finished cup of coffee. Sounds way easier than climbing to the top of a tower and staring at the stars all night. Yeah, although Paimon's really more interested in finding out what the coffee tastes like. Traveler, anything interesting? No, Paimon's just hungry. What Paimon needs right now is a traveler who can whip up some delicious sticky honey roast. So, who's gonna be the lucky traveler? Traveler, anything interesting? That hard work hardly works here in Mondstadt. Just look at Huffman from the Knights of Favonius. He does his best at his duties every day. But the ever-relaxed Captain Kaya is his boss. Well, how about this then? Venti's the god of Mondstadt, and he's the laziest of them all. Traveler, anything interesting you want to... Paimon doesn't feel so good. Paimon hasn't opened a treasure chest in so long. If this keeps up... Ooh. Hey! Paimon floats, so that'll never work. Traveler, anything interesting? We should get something tasty interesting? Morning! Are we going out for some tasty food today? Oh, Paimon's ready.
Do you have a new story for me? I'll trade you some candied ajolenok nuts. I made them myself. I think the answer to that should be pretty obvious. You should be able to tell from just one look. Like when you peer into a crystal clear lake and you can see all the fish swimming around inside of it. It's very pleasant here. Even the wind brushing against my toes feels soft and gentle. So of course, I love it! As much as a little bird might love exploring the forests and mountains, tasting new and different fruits every day, after a long flight, it still needs a place to land and rest its weary wings. So I'm glad that I can roost here in your nest for a while. Also, it's much more spacious here than a birdcage. Thank you for being so kind. I know that you mean it, and I'll make the most of my stay here. I'm here! Do you have a new story for me? Sure, but instead of diving into story time, let's talk about what's troubling you. I'm sure you're wondering how I knew. Well, your troubles are written on your face, silly. I'm always observing you, you know. You look as miserable as a lavender melon that's been struck by lightning. Don't lose heart. Sometimes you might feel like you're the unluckiest person in the world. But for all you know, it could also just be an unfortunate situation. Well, let's say a Rishbalan tiger ate a fox and got diarrhea. You can't know for sure whether the diarrhea was caused by eating the fox or by something inside the fox's stomach. Does that make sense? If Rishbalan tigers stopped eating foxes out of fear of diarrhea, they would have become extinct a long time ago. As long as the Rishbalan tiger keeps eating foxes, and as long as we keep living our lives, we'll experience all kinds of different situations. Fortunate, unfortunate, and everything in between. There, you're doing great. Have a head pat. I'm here. Do you have a new story for... Sure. I'm sure you're wondering... Well, your troubles are written on your face. You look as miserable as a lavender... Don't lose heart. Sometimes you might feel like you're the unlucky... Well, to use an analogy... Let's say a Rishbalan tiger ate a fox and got diarrhea. You can't know for sure whether the diarrhea was caused by eating the fox or by something inside the fox's stomach. Does that... If Rishbalan tigers stopped eating foxes out of fear of diarrhea, they would have become extinct a long time ago. As long as the Rishbalan... There, you're doing great. Have a head pat. I'm here. Do you have a new story for... May I start with a question? Do you really enjoy collecting things? Sometimes you remind me of a sumpter beast, plodding along with a big pack full of materials and supplies. I'm quite curious. You already have more than enough resources to last a lifetime. So why do you keep bringing everything with you? And why do you still collect even more during your travels? habit. Oh, I see. So, what about forging weapons, cooking, and making condensed resin? They're useful behaviors that benefit you. Is that why they've turned into habits as well? So, what about making lots of friends, helping them solve their problems, and reading their letters from front to back? Are those habits too? Don't worry, I'm not trying to pry, and I wouldn't let something like that affect what I think of you. I know there are definitely good reasons for your behavior. I'm only asking out of curiosity. Since you are also driven by emotions, maybe you can understand my thoughts right now. I want to travel across this vast land with you, experience everything you enjoy, and do all the things you do. Will you indulge my curiosity? And will you accept my request? Then let's face the sun and pick the first mint we find. I'm here! Do you have a new story for me? May I start with a question? Sometimes you remind me of a... I'm quite curious. And why do you still collect even more during your travel? Yes, I thought so. Okay, that makes sense. People do sometimes act irrationally for the sake of pursuing their interests. Like the forest boar that fell in love with a shroomkin. It changed its own form just to ensure the shroomkin's survival. In the end, they were eaten together as a delicacy. But that's besides the point. I don't feel one way or another about collecting, but since it's something you enjoy, I'd like to join in and see what it's like. I want to travel across this vast land with you, experience everything you enjoy, and do all the things you do. Will you indulge my curiosity? And will you accept my request? Then let's face the sun and pick... I'm here! Do you have a new story for me? Good night. Oh, why don't you take a final trip to the bathroom before bed? It'll improve the quality of your sleep. Seems like very helpful advice, so are you gonna take it?
Traveler, anything interesting? Nighty-night and sweet dreams! And don't worry, Paimon will be with you all the way!
Huh? Is something... It's already time for you to turn in. If you ask me, there's never enough time in a day. Good night. Yes, go replenish your strength.
Ah, it is you. Dost thou wish to present... Profess tribute, for this space is exalted by my consecration. None shall interfere with your repose.
Main Fräulein says, good night. May you have sweet dreams.
Hello. I'm so happy to see you again. Can I do anything for you? I'm at your service. It would be my pleasure. Do you know something? Ever since I came here, I don't believe I've picked up a single item of lost property. I'm still not used to it. No, they're just items I find while cleaning. For example, a faded headband under a cabinet. Or a ball hidden in a bush by a kitten. Or a bookmark in a corner of the library. Keys dropped at the side of the road. Oh, an unsigned letter of confession stuck in the door of the church. Oh, I always do my utmost to reunite each item with its owner. But the ones that go unclaimed remain at the Knights of Favonia's headquarters. Speaking of cleaning, this place always seems so clean and tidy. Oh, thank you. Oh, it's always very fulfilling to work here. More so than when I'm cleaning for the Knights or anywhere else. Because this is your home. Hello. Can I do anything? Good night. Should you require a glass of hot milk or a lullaby, I will see to it without delay. Hello. Can I do anything? Huh? You're asking me? I want to take your measurements and make an outfit for you. If you wore clothes that I made for you, most certainly be a wonderfully momentous occasion. Okay. All right then. Excellent. Time to get busy again. Only, this must be the happiest kind of busy in all of Teyvat.